Hey everybody, Rob Ferretti here, standing in front of three arguably very collectible cars, my NSX, my GT3, and my Toyota Supra. Now, when new cars come out, there's always hype around them. Oh, it's a great car, great car, great car. But at the end of the day, the cars that really stand out and weather the test of time, only time will permit those cars to be classics. You're talking cars like the old M3s, the E30 M3s, the E36 M3 even, the 993 turbos, the NSX, the GT3 are more modern day variants of this. But those cars cannot be replaced. They're known as driver's cars. And what happens when you have a driver's car as it ages, people start to say, I need that, I need that, I need that. And that drives the price up. And those cars all then become collector's cars because the price goes up. So now you're taking cars that were ultimately collectible because they were such driver's cars and that created a demand, and making them all collector's cars. Now, what's the solution to that? And the only solution to that really is, like, rich people stop fighting over the cars and drive them, which is never going to happen. Or what you can do is you could take the cars and, like the 356 Speedster from Porsche, the Shelby 427, the Eleanors, you can make replicas of these cars. And you can take the car, make a modern day variant of this car, and make it just as good as the original. It's never going to carry the same. If the original is now selling for $1 million, you make a fake one for $150,000, it's not going to affect. If anything, it's going to drive up the market on the original one, make it more desirable because, oh, well, that's an original, this is a replica. And there's no shame in driving a replica. In many cases, it's a better car, maybe a little bit better car than the original because technology has come a long way. And you can either make it time period correct, which why would you really do that, or make it a little bit more of a resto mod where it's authentic to the time period, but you add those little safety features, ABS or whatever it may be, to bring the car up to modern day comfort or standards, and you still get that driving experience with a little bit more of the safety element. Now, what that time period is that should go by, maybe 30 years, I don't know. I mean, we're talking about the R32s and R33s becoming US legal now, and these other gray market cars that were coming from overseas. After 25 years, they allow them to come into the market as collector cars. I don't know if it's 30 years, 25 years. I don't know how the licensing works, but I'm trying to think of cars that I think if I could put together a top 10 list, I don't know what it would be. McLaren F1, terrific car. I mean, it's a car that nobody will ever drive. I mean, it's very unfortunate they're all $15 million now at $13 million to get any McLaren F1. It would be great if you can get a McLaren F1 and anyone could go buy one for 350 grand. It's like, hey, look, it doesn't have the gold plating on the inside. It doesn't have this, but car for car, if you close your eyes and give it to a test driver, he wouldn't really know which one is the authentic one, which one isn't. It wouldn't have the serial number. It wouldn't have that value, but it would allow these awesome machines that are created for really for personal enjoyment to be enjoyed for generations to come. And the more time goes by, the more of these cars get parked and not used. It's a real shame. Other cars I would probably throw on my list, Carrera GT, the three behind me, they can redo the Supras, they can redo the NSXs, the stick shift GT3s. I mean, you're really taking cars that the manufacturers aren't gonna, they're gonna do what Ford and Chevy do. Here's another variant of the Dodge Challenger. You know what? The Dodge Challenger was cool back then. Come up with something else. You wanna do pay homage to it? God bless you, go ahead and do it. But that old car is really what inspired this, and people enjoy that car, and people should be able to enjoy that car. So I don't know what the process is. This is food for thought here. I think if you go out there and I guess with Porsche having the same, sell the licensing rights, Ford had to sell the licensing rights for the Shelbys. There's got to be a way to do it. There's got to be a way to go out and make an F50 or make an F40 that's not an original car. It's not going to have the same value, but people can recreate these awesome experiences, and our kids can enjoy the same way that the older generation was able to enjoy them while they were new and hot. When they become collectible, instead of getting them all swept into the corner where they're going to sit and just trade from auction to auction and go up in value, allow people to get their hands on them, allow people to use them. What do you guys think? What cars belong on the list? Post a couple up in the comments. I'm going to throw them out right now. McLaren F1, original Ford GT, which is already being remade by Factory 5, I think. Well, maybe not so much. It's the Factory 5 GTM, which is similar, but not the original Ford GT. F50, F40, the Enzos eventually. I mean, we're talking, it's not going to be, this car was great 10 years ago, we'll make it. After 30 years, you guys go back. Let's pull a 25-year benchmark. What cars do you think should be open to be open sourced and reproduced by a licensed agent? You let me know in your comments below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for enjoying this brain exercise with me. I can't tell you to do anything to change the fact that these cars are going to become collectible. That's just unfortunately the way of the automotive world. Catch you next time.